Hey guys, your old pal Lou Lombardi, aka Lou Dini. Real quick, this is part of my getting to know you, you getting to know me, or us getting to know each other series. I'd like to get to know you too, believe me. Hit me up on Facebook or shoot me an email at llstrangelove at gmail.com or anything. Leave a comment here on the blog. However, I'm always interested in meeting new people. So that's part of getting to know Lou Lombardi. The Lou Dini thing real quick. Yes, I have a podcast. It's called the Lou Dini Rock and Roll Circus. Something you guys should know about me. And you can just go to podcast.Lou Rock and Roll Circus and you can see everything we're doing there. Lou Dini is just a sort of joke on the name Houdini, with my name Lou instead. Okay, you're not stupid. You probably figure that out. So just that's a little bit of trivia there. But what I wanted to talk to you guys today about was a lot of people ask me, well, like, how do you come up with songs? Like, you have this you have this whole package with all these songs and everything. How do you come up with them? Well, I noodle. I just noodle on the guitar until something jumps out at me. Sometimes it starts with playing other people's riffs, like the song, the first track on my record, Lou Lombardi Strangelove, is called Medicine, and that was me noodling around on Outshined by Soundgarden. If I can remember how to play it. I can't remember how to play it. And for you guitar people, this is the guitar is tuned to drop D, which means the sixth string, instead of being tuned to an E, is tuned to a D. So you give it a big fat D, But I was just jamming to that. And I started just, that sort of morphed it. And I'm a Rage Against the Machine kind of guy too, So sort of jamming around with this couple of riffs, I started playing, sped it up a little bit. I wanted something that had that kind of real heavy, tuned down type sound. So that is that was the genesis of that riff, was just me kind of playing those other riffs and screwing around. But that is typically how I like to write. Is just sit down with the guitar, get a good tone, either on electric or acoustic, and just see what kind of shakes out. Just kind of relax and play. Sometimes I just start playing some of my favorite riffs, and I'll be inspired to take something in a little different direction. I go, oh, I wonder if it did this, or if I sped that up or slowed that down, or add this chord or that chord. So I can kind of do that for you guys right now. Different direction. Okay, so there's probably 5 or 6 song ideas in there, and it's recorded, so I can go back and develop them. That's basically what happens. I sit down, I come up with some stuff like that, then I go back and pick and choose what I like. Some stuff becomes something like that. That could be, there's probably maybe 3, maybe even 4 songs in there, and you develop them, and then usually for me, lyrics come later. Not always though. Some of the stuff that's on my record that's a little bit more in the singer-songwritery sort of vein, were sort of the words and the sort of music kind of happened a little bit more together when we'd be sitting there, usually with acoustic, but sometimes with electric, just coming up with some cool chords that I like. Something like, I don't know, I'm just kind of noodling there, but I would just come up with some cool chords. All chords are cool, but something that kind of just touched me or reached me as I was playing it, and I would go, ooh, and I would get like a little melodic idea. Usually you do the typical thing where you sing, maybe you don't know this is typical, you sing just sort of nonsense word, like Juba Zabadi Ga, I'm gonna take you everywhere, it's just something like that, just to kind of get the thing working. And then you go back and say, well, I don't want to sing zibbity doobity da, I want to take you everywhere, although that might be cool. But you flesh that out into something that has some sort of sense, has some kind of meaning, and that isn't, and this isn't like all that odd. If you look up songwriters, a lot of people work this way. There's really no right or wrong way to write songs. A lot of people will say you always start with a melodic figure, or you always start with a lyrical hook. I don't buy into that. It just depends on the type of artist you are. I wouldn't get hung up on saying, well, no, I can't turn that riff into a song because I didn't start with a melodic hook. I don't do stuff like that. Very often those things come in different orders. Sometimes I'll be just cruising down the street or walking or going throughout my day, and something will pop into my head, or I'll hear somebody say something and go like, oh yeah, that would be something, and I could turn that into this kind of riff, or I could turn that lyric into this kind of melody, or that would be a great ballad, or whatever. So the process for me is very, very fluid, but most of the time it starts with the guitar. And one more thing about songwriting I want to add, just because very often I'll come up with something like those riffs I played, and I'll start writing it, and what will happen is I'll come up with other parts that sound awesome, but they don't work with the part that I originally came up with. And the hardest thing to do as a songwriter is give up what's most precious to you. And usually that's the riff or the lyric or the melodic figure that kind of got you started. And sometimes those things just get you started, and then the song actually becomes completely, those riffs I played, they could morph into a ballad. They could morph into something that's maybe more country or something. And it loses the whole rock thing, but it works. The song just seems to work. So the other half of this is kind of going where the music leads you. The music is the king. The music tells you what to do. All right? So for those of you out there who might be aspiring songwriters or just want a little bit of kind of the inside scoop on how songwriting can work for certain musicians, certain artists like me, that's how I do it. To me, the song is king. I start with the guitar, and usually the lyrics come later. We could do another video on how I like to do lyrics. That's a whole other subject in itself. Okay, so this is another part of the Getting to Know You series, Getting to Know Lou Lombardi series. Again, you can check out my podcast.ludinirockandrollcircus.com. If you want to just, if you guys like it, you can get a mobile app with that. You can just go to listen.Ludini Rock and Roll Circus to get a mobile app that you can just stream all the episodes. I do interviews. I do all kind of cool stuff on there. If you're seeing this and you don't have my mega package with all my cool, awesome stuff, you want to go to LouLombardiMusic.com. My entire back catalog is there, interviews, all kind of really cool stuff so that we have for you guys. Got those links? We'll put them on the screen. My name is Lou Lombardi. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.